Hello everyone, I'm Caroline.
And I'm Phil.
And hopefully you can hear us.
Yes,
We had some issues.
We have.
Hopefully, as long as I don't touch anything, we're going to be okay.
Well, it worked last week when you won here.
It did, yes. It must be me.
I think you're a jinx. I do.
Technology does hate me. One of those people.
Obviously, because the lag runs 20 seconds behind, it'll take a moment before anybody says, yes,
Phyllis says, I hear sound brilliant. Thank you, Phyllis.
There we go.
Ed, audio and video check, all good, with 18-second latency to live. Ooh, very technical, Ed.
There we go. Well, Ed, wherever you are, you're ahead of me, because I was 21 seconds behind, and I'm stood next door to...
He's only a couple of miles away.
That's the wacky thing, isn't it? Ed's down Cardiff.
Yeah.
I'm stood next to you and I'm 3 seconds lag bigger than Ed, and sometimes people on the other side of the world get it quicker than somebody down the street.
It's mad.
It's a strange old world, but whilst we may have our moans and our groans, we love this technology because it brings us to you all on a Saturday evening.
It does, and it's lovely for you to all join us.
Indeed,
I'm going to scroll right to the top of my screen and see who are the first three in. Oh no, it's gone potty on me. They tell you what, you talk while I sort this out.
Do you want me to scroll up for you?
Oh, go on then.
There you go.
So, top is, first one name was Ed Creative. Well done, Ed. And followed closely by Phyllis Williams.
Oh, it's spanner after a spanner. We got two spanners in a row there.
Third place, we've got Lexi B. So, well done,
yes.
Lexi. So, congratulations. First three on a podium tonight. There are more podiums coming up. Be ready with those quiz answers. And have you all already counted? And have you got your answers ready for that last question?
I've had to watch the video 3 times just to be sure, because Mankey's getting so elusive these days, even I don't know where he's got to. And I'm there with him. I'm supposed to be in charge. It's just chaos. But this week, a break from our London videos. As I say, I'm still hoping to assemble one more London video because we saw so many beautiful things, and we'd love to take you for a walk across Tower Bridge, right down...
Oh, Tom! Thank
Tom.
You interrupted Phil.
I'll forgive you, Tom. I forgive you. You know what a forgiving man I am, Tom. You can interrupt me anytime.
Oh, thank you so
Lovely
much, Tom. We've
mate.
got a £10 super chat off Tom. So we really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you
for the super chat, and thank you for being with us tonight on the
lovely
live
to have
show.
you joining us.
You can join us, and one of these days, sometime soon, we'll have to try and catch up and meet up and share some time together and perhaps make a video.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would indeed. And we've got 35 in at the moment, so that's lovely.
Yeah, that's great.
To have you
if
all
you
with
wouldn't
us.
mind giving us a thumbs up, that would be brilliant.
Yeah.
YouTube likes it when we get thumbs up.
We've got 7
they don't
thumbs
like
up.
it when we don't.
Saying that though, I used to be able to watch the thumbs up on here, but what happens is it kind of freezes on the number that's there when I open it up, and it doesn't count them for some reason.
But if you refresh, the little circly thing, refresh your page, go on, you can do it. Phil's about
I can, but if I do that, I might even end up further behind Ed than I am now. I could end up somewhere else. I don't know what would happen. There we go. There we are. Look, I went to 13 when I did that, but I've lost my chat.
Oh dear.
You're back. Well
anyway,
done.
We digress. We're fussing about technology again.
We often do, but it is great to be with you, and it is super wonderful to have Caroline back alongside me.
Only because I know what to press if it goes wrong, and if I don't know, we
see, we can have jingles this week.
Yes.
I can't remember if I did jingles.
Did
I do jingles? I can't remember.
I think you did.
I think I possibly did.
I would have thought
I possibly did. I just get when I'm here trying to figure everything out, trying to read this, do that. Obviously, as I said last week, couldn't interact very much with the chat because that's very much your domain. You multitask. You can talk and read at the same time. Or at least you can read while I'm talking.
That's because you do so much talking, see.
I do.
That's my excuse.
I plead guilty. Absolutely. It's what I do. It's how I earn my living. I talk for a living.
Well, I'm nosing in the chat here, and Tom said, might have found some gold again, Lexi. Oh, we've never found gold. You know, we did find a false gold doubloon once, which it turns out one of our viewers, no mentioning no names, Jeff, it was Jeff, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Sent us a pretend gold doubloon and got Phil to plant it.
Yes.
So I find it because I'm always going on about gold doubloons.
Secretly, I tell you some of the cunning things that go on. And the wonderful pair down there, the West Country Mudlarks, have confirmed, yes, you did, Phil. So I did use jingles last week.
Phyllis has said, yep,
I'm shocking myself with my technological wizardry.
You never cease to amaze me.
Technological wizardry, I tell you. I tell you, I'm going great guns.
Right then, shall we start off with a question?
We could do.
We're running a little bit late tonight.
No, we're not. We're running a lot quicker than last week. I had to do 2 questions together last week to get them all in.
We didn't even start till late because I was a few minutes behind. Sorry.
Oh, we're all right tonight. We were smart, weren't we?
No.
Well, come on then, give us a jingle. Okay, now I don't have it with me at the moment. I'm not sure if we put it in to bring with us or not because we tend to get so much stuff and we've already got so much stuff. But I'm sure everyone who watched the video will remember Caroline found a rather heavy piece of something which she asked me to identify. I had the advantage that I could see and she couldn't, so I noticed the word Exide on the top. I was 99% sure it's what it was because of the form and shape, but I cannot emphasize too strongly how heavy that thing was. I don't know exactly what it was made of. Obviously, it was a cell for a battery, but it was heavy, wasn't it?
I wonder if it's lead. Does anybody know? Is anybody around here a genius when it comes to old batteries? Would that be lead?
It's some form of metal, and heavy. When we picked it up, I think what fools your brain is it didn't look like metal.
It almost looked like a bottle, though, because of this little thing sticking out the top.
Looked like
but it couldn't be a bottle because it was
looked
solid.
Like it should have been ceramic or should have been pottery.
It
had
really
that colour. But when you lifted it, you realised, yikes, this is heavy. And of course, not only did we know it was a part of a battery, but we knew the company it came from. So I'm going to give you a little information and ask a question regarding the company themselves.
I haven't seen the question, so I'm going to guess with you.
Okay, the Electric Storage Battery Company, which would one day become Exide Technologies, is an American company founded by W. Gibbs in 1888. It was their batteries that stored solar energy for NASA's first lunar landing.
Ooh.
And it is said that by time they were celebrating 100 years from their being founded, that they were producing such a wide range of batteries they could cover virtually every motor vehicle on the American roads. But to begin his success, Mr. Gibbs bought a set of patents from an inventor who was experimenting in battery development. It's an American company, but where was the inventor from who sold him the patents? Do you think that the inventor was French? That's A. German? That would be B. Or British? That would be C.
Go!
There you go, folks.
Was it French? German
or British? Because the company was set up in America, but there was this particular gentleman, this inventor, and what Mr. Gibbs did was realise the potential. Now, the funny thing was, he didn't understand just how big that potential was. He was looking at the potential. Mr. Gibbs actually worked for the gas board, and he saw gas lighting was going over to electric lighting. And he thought perhaps battery storage would be an important and integral part of the future of electric light. What he didn't allow for was, after he set up his company, within a couple of years, what really took off was the motor car. And that was what he created, was a commercial application of this inventor's concept and ideas. And sometimes that's what happens. You get the inventor who has the ideas, but then you get the businessman who can make it, produce it, and then sell it. And that's what he did in great success, becoming a very rich man. So let's have a look.
But while you look and see who's got it right, Ed did say yes, lead acid batteries, or lead acid, I think you said, so probably lead, which would have been a good thing to bring home, I suppose, really.
I don't know. It could. I've got 2 bags of stuff. My stuff's in the garage. I'm searching through.
I don't think we brought.
I could only find 2 out of 3 of your glass bottle stoppers. Not because they're not all in there. It's just
we can't find
everything gets mixed muggled up. All right, let's have a look. Well, I can see already that we've got one answer that is fairly popular.
Well,
and
I'm a bit worried about my answer because somebody who I think probably does know didn't give the same answer as me. So let's have a look.
Oh, right. Well, I can tell you now that the correct answer is actually the first answer in, because Mr. Tom Burley has written France.
I already thought, I'm going for British, English. And then I saw Tom come up with that, and I thought, I bet he knows. And then he's put a name down here somewhere, so I'm assuming you even know the name of the person.
Quite possibly.
so you're obviously right there.
Now, you went with British, but the one I thought would catch people, and it did, because after Tom, we got a B, a B, a B, a B. And then we got Tom again with the same answer. Then we got another B.
I think Tom put a letter the second time, didn't he?
Yes. The interesting thing is, I think a lot of people would have thought B, because when you think of batteries, you think of car batteries, you think of the development of the car, and of course Germany was very much at the forefront, and still is, of a lot of car things. So a lot of people went Germany. But the truth is, it was a French inventor who sold his patents to Mr. Gibbs and began the journey that would be excised batteries that took the American lunar mission to the moon.
But we have a second place.
We do, but we've got to go so far down to find one, because we're looking for...
At least I'm not on my own getting it wrong this week.
We're looking for an A, and if we go down, 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 we get to Lisa Roberts.
Well done, Lisa.
And then just one answer away, we get Lynn Bean.
Well done, Lynn.
Lovely to have Lynn with us.
Yes.
I hope your hubby didn't mind starring in the video. Couldn't resist putting him in, because whilst I wanted to research and look up the piece, of course, as I said on the video, we remember when Graham told us the piece.
Yes.
And he
accent.
If I say it tonight, which I hope to do later, I will murder it, because I've got a Welsh accent doing a Yorkshire saying. But there we go. Lynn, you're on the third podium, so it's Tom, Lisa and Lynn take gold, silver and bronze.
Well done.
There we go. It was a Frenchman who set the ball rolling for a company that took the American NASA mission to the moon.
Right, let's have some finds. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to show you 2 finds at the same time.
2? Oh,
First
you
of all, I'm going to show
woman.
you this, which is a plinth I found. I think it's really pretty for a plinth. It's a little bit uneven on the top because it didn't snap cleanly when it snapped. How you imagine this was like a sort of out and in, and then little handles that made it look a bit like a tall urn? That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. And I also found this tile. Phil, did you find this tile? Didn't you? Yeah.
I found it, yes.
But I love it.
I knew you liked
love
to
these
sit
old
down, you
tiles.
say.
We very rarely find a whole one. We quite often find this size or larger. But what I liked about these is putting the 2 together. Now, I know there's no really easy way to fix them, but I just love the colour combination. I think that looks... because the green in the leaves is quite like... the darker green is quite like the colour of this. And the brown just goes so nicely. I just think that is almost made for it, isn't it? I just love the look on that. So if I could find a way I mean, it'd be easier to fix that way, but then the flour's obviously upside down. But if you cut it straight, you're going to chop off too much flour. So I don't know, but I'd like to do something with that. Just, no idea what. Just because it looks so lovely as one piece.
There we go. And I suppose ultimately, if you get a flower and you place it alongside green, it's going to work, isn't it?
They are designed to be with
Because
the green.
it seems to be nature's favoured way. Ribble Finds and Crafts was saying the half a brick that you found, the coat brick, it's Huncoat.
Huncoat and Accrington.
There we
Right.
go.
Oh, thank you. That's brilliant.
There we go.
I guess it wasn't really just the one half of a word.
Yep, there we go. So that's what the coat and GNTON were.
It's amazing what you
Huncoat and
learn.
Accrington.
And some of you are so
Which-
clever. Well, you're all clever, but some
If
don't.
I'd
We
had-
all got our specialities, haven't we?
If that'd been all, it would have been a new one for me, and I probably would have brought it home. But as it was half a brick. Didn't see a lot of bricks on this occasion.
No, we
Saw
didn't.
some,
We
saw
usually
some,
do.
saw some, but not a lot in this video. I thought there were a lot across that river, but there weren't. When I got there, they were all baldy bricks.
Yeah, I think it is hand painted, Ed. Let me have a look. Oh no, it isn't. I think by
Hard
the
to
looks,
tell
if you
now.
look at the bottom of the petals, see if I can get it to focus. Which way? And if you look at the cross hatching on the brown, no, I think that is printed on. Oh, wait a minute. Can you see where the green leaf is actually splurging onto the petals? And if you look at the stem on the little bud, then some of the brown has come onto the petal and onto the backing. So I think this was printed and then hand coloured. That's what I'm going for. Does everybody agree? Anybody disagree? Anybody got any other ideas? I'm going for printed and hand coloured. They were
there we
big at
go.
hand colouring. They used to hand colour photographs when they were all black and white. Somebody would sit there painstakingly colouring them in.
Indeed. And we've got a discussion going about DNA testing at the
Ooh.
moment. Lexi saying getting a DNA test was the best thing I did. So I'm assuming this is all with Ancestry, is it?
Must
Is
be.
that what we're thinking? DNA test for Ancestry?
Yeah, I did see some talking about looking up your ancestry. And it is really interesting when people tell you, I'm part this, part this, part this. I don't know what...
Yeah.
I think that comes from the DNA testing, doesn't it? But we've never been tested.
I saying about that, I did a service the other week and they were saying about this guy and he was such a staunch nationalist, proud Welshman. And it wasn't a DNA test. He happened to be in Salt Lake City. And of course, there at the temple, they offer you a free view into your past, and they've got all the records. They've got the most extensive records, I believe, in the world of ancestry. And he went in, and he was a man who couldn't resist a bargain. So when they said it was free, he went in, and his family said it didn't prove to be a bargain because he came out devastated when he found out he was 1/3 English. So there we go. Sometimes you might have a nasty shock when you check it out and find out where you're from. I know my family, at least on the one side, my dad's family, are definitely from across the water. They're definitely from Somerset, I believe.
Yep.
Go back
across
two
the water
genera- Yeah, across the bridge.
Across the bridge.
Yeah,
Yes.
not that water. The
No, it's
bridge.
just across the estuary. We're actually joined up to England.
We are, but the quickest route is across the
bridge,
Severn,
yeah.
yeah. And I'll show you two finds which are linked because these are the two stoppers I picked up. This one, it's almost like new.
It's lovely, isn't it?
On the top, you can see the wear on the actual screw part, but on the top itself, and that one is Halifax. Is it going to show up there?
Closer. Oh, there we are. We're on.
There we go. But this one, with the XL, when I cleaned it up, I can see is from another part of another location in our part of the world, beginning with H, because it's from
Try a bit
Huddersfield.
closer. There you go. Huddersfield, otherwise known as Huddersfield.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
how
did say it began with H, and it's
You did.
Huddersfield.
Huddersfield.
And this is beginning with H, and it's Halifax. So
Thing
you've got
is,
Halifax and Huddersfield.
When a French person speaks, they don't pronounce the H's, so it's an rather than an hom. Yeah, and everybody thinks French language is so romantic and beautiful, and then the Welsh say, oh yeah, I had a cup of tea, and they're like, for goodness sake, pronounce your H's. Well, I like
But
to
we
say
don't.
that we're as good as the French.
That's right. It's just our dialect.
It
isn't
is, yes.
It's our dialect, yeah. Do you want another question?
Why not?
You give me a jingle, I'll do you another question.
I better put my glass on, I can't see what on earth I'm doing.
Now, one of the things we picked up on this particular video were only small shards and bits and pieces, but some pretty glass. Caroline, one of the early finds that you had was that little piece that you said would almost be purposed for jewellery, wasn't it? With different colours. We also I found some carnival glass, and Caroline found some cranberry glass, some light coloured cranberry glass. And the question I want to ask you is regarding cranberry glass, because cranberry glass really hit the market around about 1600, came from Bohemia, and people were stunned because they hadn't seen this before. But it wasn't because it hadn't been made before. Simply what the experts believe is that the recipe for making it had been lost for centuries. My question is, in which empire do most experts believe cranberry glass originated? Was it A, the Persians, B, the Egyptians, or C, the Romans?
Go! Well done, you didn't put China in. They always put China in. Okay, then I'm going for, what was the first one?
Persian, that's A, Egyptian, that's B, Roman is C.
I know what I'm going for. Right
All
then,
right,
while
so-
you're trying to find out who did get it right, because I didn't, Beata says, my kids might be related to the Johnsons. I married a Johnson. And there was another Johnson comment. I've got to try and find it now. It's very difficult to do. Kitchen worker. Somewhere. Where you gone, kitchen worker? I know you're there. Kitchen worker. No, that's not the comment. I saw a comment anyway where kitchen worker said, you did agree to adopt me. I related to you
Yes,
too.
that is kitchen
You-
worker I relate
Yeah,
you to.
you agreed to adopt me. I'm sure you did. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, you're with a huge family. If you want to be adopted by us, just pop your name down and then we'll add you to the list of relatives.
Back in the day when our kids were younger, their friends got to calling us mum and dad. Then our eldest got married, so the son-in-law was calling us dad, and we turned up at ice cream parlour, wasn't it?
And everybody was calling us
They
mum
were
and dad.
looking at us strange because we had this variety of people of varying ages, sort of between 22 and 14. And there was blonde, there was dark haired, there was tall, thick set, there was little, slight, and they're all going, Mum, Dad, Mum. And they were looking at us and saying, what a strange family you've got.
And all the children's friends who used to come round to our house, they'd say, oh, thank you for dinner, Mrs. Johnson. Or thank you for dinner, Mum. And I said, well, just remember me when you're rich and famous.
That's
and what
right.
do you know? Nobody's remembered me.
In fairness, we don't know if any of them are rich
No,
and
they probably
famous.
not. Well, I don't know. There were some characters.
Yeah, but we
got
don't
to
know
over
if
the
they...
years.
We
No,
haven't
don't know.
seen them turn up on telly yet.
No, not yet.
So we-
Although there is a chance that we were in the hotel that Julian Clary was working in as a chambermaid, because we went to stay with my auntie and uncle down in Hastings, and there was a chambermaid there called Julian, and he was so much like Julian Clary, even down to the fact he had a makeup zigzag drawn on his cheek because
But
he
he-
just got in from a
He
night out.
never called us Mum and Dad.
No, he didn't. He didn't know us that well.
Okay, so let's have a look. Who's got the right answer? Well, I can see that getting in early certainly helps today, because whilst there are numerous incorrect answers, the first answer in is correct once more.
Ooh, who's that?
But on this occasion, it's Rachel Bailey.
Oh, well done, Rachel.
Ah, excellent, Rachel. And taking the silver podium on this occasion, slipping down from gold, it's Tom Burley.
Well done, Tom.
And then, what do you know?
I don't know. What
She
do I know?
must like bronze because Lynn Bean's in again.
Oh, well done, Lynn.
Yes, it was folks. It was the Roman Empire.
There we go.
As they
I
say
went
in
for Persians.
most of the articles, that's where I put it in. It sounds like the sort of
They
people
more
that
did
would-
rugs. I don't know if they mainly did rugs. I've heard of Persian rugs, okay?
Indeed, you have. What most articles say is the origins of cranberry glass are clouded in mystery, but most experts believe that it originated in the Roman Empire. So that's why I was careful to say where do most experts, because there are some things that they can't be definitive about. They don't have a written record of when it began. But I think from the pieces they found, the oldest they found have gone back, but there's always a possibility that the Romans got it from someone else. But we've just never found their glass, because the Romans took a lot of things to the world, but they also gained a lot of things as they travelled. They were people who learned and then spread it about. But that's the belief, that it was the Roman Empire. And our winners today were Rachel, Tom and Lynn.
Well done. And Glenn Device is in. My cousin from the US was dating her husband from the UK and he saw a snake, but told her not to worry because it was armless. Her first thought was snakes don't have arms.
Oh.
I know.
Oh. Of course, we have snakes that are non-poisonous, but we have some that are poisonous.
I think it's only the adder or the viper, which apparently is the same thing.
Heading in a different direction.
Yeah, what it is apparently there's a marking on their head, and from one side it looks like an A and the other side looks like a V. So some people always call them adders, some people call them vipers, and they're the same thing.
And then
that's what I was told in school.
And
That could be old
they
news
are
now.
venomous, whereas the grass snake is not.
No, which looks it's like a big fat worm, but it's the shape of a snake. It probably is the snake.
Are you
But it's
thinking of
only-
a slow worm?
I'm thinking of a slow worm, forget that.
Which is a bit, because the grass snake
thinking of
is
slow worms.
is more snake-like and but smaller than an adder or a viper. There we go. I was thinking then, because we had slow worms down the garden, didn't we?
Yes.
At one time. At one time we did.
I know, I
indeed.
felt terrible once. I was mowing the lawn, I didn't know he was there, and I chopped him up. Oh, I was really
Yeah, he
upset
was
because he's
upset
so
for
cute.
ages, wasn't
I know, I don't like doing that sort of thing.
There we go. Right, I'm just checking what's being
what's
said and
this?
what's going on. But
This is supposed to be for Tom, but I've got to read this out. I found a vulcanite teeth set that has a complete gold palette, but I can't get the gold off. Wow. Nice.
there we go.
Look,
Right.
One day I'm going to find some gold, one day.
Shall I do a bit of happy news? We're
Go on,
halfway
then.
through, or would you like to do some happy news? I tell you what, play the jingle and we'll fight over who goes first.
Okay then. No, me!
Caroline
Oh,
wins.
sorry, we're back on.
Caroline wins. Caroline's going to do the happy news.
Right. Record breaking at London Marathon. That was on last week. 19-year-old Lloyd Martin has become the youngest person ever to finish the London Marathon with Down syndrome. Receiving a Guinness World Records plaque at the finish line, Lloyd said it's a dream come true and celebrated the 26.4 miles with some pretty fly dance moves for someone with impaired motor function. He ran continuously for the first 14 miles, a personal best, before switching to bouts of walking and jogging. In Lloyd's words, it's achieving his dream, said his mum, Kerry Hooper. Really, anything is possible if you put your mind to it. With a bit of work, you can achieve it.
There you go.
Isn't that amazing?
I thought it was great that the Guinness Book of Records were there. Obviously, they were there because perhaps a new world record was going to be set, perhaps a new record for the London Marathon was going to be set. But I don't know that they were expecting this young man to come in and complete. Whether that was part of their remit for being there, I don't know. But I think it's wonderful that he crosses the line and he not only gets his medal for completing the race, but also gets his name put in the Guinness Book of Records. And what he achieved is a wonderful personal best. As he said, he'd never been able to run for the 14 miles previously. That was the longest he's ran before switching to his combination of walk and jog. And also a personal achievement to finish the race. but what an ambassador for so many.
Oh, oh, well done, Christina. You interrupted Phil. Oh, we got a 65 Swedish crown super chat and a cute little, I think it's a fox.
Yeah, I think so.
It
Saying
looks like a
hiya.
fox to me. Very cute, saying hi. Oh, thank you so much, Christina. That's really kind of you. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Indeed we do. And I noticed a comment just up above as well with Ripple Vines and Crafts saying that they have adders on the moors near them and they've seen them.
Ooh.
There we
Scary.
go. They've seen them. There we go. But as I say, also giving such encouragement with his success in saying his dreams come true to all of us, and in particular to that community of people who for so long may have felt that for them to achieve wasn't within their grasp, and he is showing it is. If you want to go for it, go for it. And I did read that I think his mum is a runner. I think she's run marathons and she's been in racing. So obviously
she would have encouraged him, which
she
is
would
brilliant.
have, yeah, she'd have given him the
knows how to teach
training.
him what to do as well.
Yeah, so excellent.
Oh, hello, Silent Forgotten.
Bit of happy news. Should we do some more finds?
Let's do some more finds. Do you want to do one first or shall I?
I tell you what.
Go on, then you tell me what.
You show a find while I attempt to lift a find ready to show.
Okay.
Because this find's in 3 pieces and I'm going to try and hold it together.
Right. Well, I got this, and it looks like the big screw head, doesn't it? I think that'd be great. Put up on it. If you had a wooden door or something, you put that on, it would look like you got a massive screw in the door. I thought it was a bottle stopper, but what do you think? Because it's got no, but they don't have, what do you call it, thread on them, do they? It just, when I looked at it now, I'm thinking, should it have gone that way? Have I got that completely wrong? I've never seen a big one like that before. But it does look, it's got something in the bottom. I'll tell you what it is now. It's a T. Oh, I can show you, can't I? I put it there. No, there. You can see there's a T. And I'm not quite sure. It feels like stone. So I'm going with stone. It's quite cold. But I don't think it's glass. I wonder if it's Bakelite. Let's give it a rub. I don't think it's Bakelite. I think it's the wrong colour, but I'll give it a rub. If a genie pops up now, it would be wonderful. Especially if I get 3 wishes. No, it's not Bakelite.
No.
If you rub it and get it hot, you can smell if it's Bakelite, but it's not. So what do you reckon, everybody? Oh, Tina said a pickle jar lid. I wonder if it'll fit in. I'm trying this. I know it's just a little bit too big for that one, but yes, saying that, if I go for a bigger jar, chances are it is going to fit.
It's intriguing that they put a slot in the top.
Yes. Looks like a giant screw.
Almost makes me feel
wonder
as
if
if
it's a
it
sort of-
came off the machine
for
or
draining
something.
something, but he couldn't
But
have.
then
because
it's got
you
no
wouldn't
thread.
need to turn it. No.
It's got no thread.
Very confusing.
But I will now show you something that is of a similar sort of design.
Just
to
a
that.
second. West Country Mudlark says a Hayward's pickle lid.
There we go.
Right. So now we know. Oh, thank
Pickle
you.
lid was right. Well done. And this looks somewhat similar to that, only it's completely different. Because yours is dished, isn't it, and inside?
It is.
Yeah, and so is mine.
Dished.
But I have to hold this very carefully because...
Yeah, there was a bit of an issue with this.
Yes, Caroline found half a dog bowl and was so excited. And she put it down on the ground. And if you watch the video, she put it down on top of something flat and brown. Now, I came down the hill and I didn't realise Caroline had found it. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Oh, there's 2 pieces. And I put them together. So when Caroline walked back up, she thought, how did that happen? My half a bowl has turned into a whole one. But it's although it's heavy and it's made of pretty tough stuff.
It's the same stuff as they make sewer pipes from, isn't it? Looks like.
I'm not sure it's... There you go. You can see what it's made of. There. It's almost like concrete. It's almost like a poured compound, isn't it? And the reason you can see that so clearly is because this bit fell off as I picked it up. So I carefully picked up the bits. And there may be another bit in the bag to go there, because that's quite a new break. But Caroline quite liked that. So
I do. I think it's really lovely.
the big problem is, being a porous compound that's been poured and made like cement, exactly how we put it back together, I don't know.
Well,
That's why I
Lexi
haven't
said, are you
glued
going
it.
to kintsugi it? I don't know.
It's whether or not it can be what resin we would have to use because
I mean, you could use some Lilliput or Milliput clay, but that would then be too thick, wouldn't it?
That.
No, it's what you call
yeah,
that stuff.
It's stuff you got to mix up, isn't it?
Wouldn't just a normal epoxy resin do it? Do you think?
Don't know. But as you can see there, you're talking extremely porous. Put it this way, that's not a job for Gorilla Glue. But interesting find and funny to find the bits together like that.
Now there's some talk about this being off a Pan-Yan. Now if that is, next time I find a Pan-Yan pickle jar, if I forget, can somebody remind me, try that lid on your Pan-Yan pickle, because if it fits perfectly, it'd make a nice little display then, wouldn't it?
And of course, here is the find that we mentioned earlier. Because we found a smaller mug.
Sorry. Dana's interrupted you. Well done,
people are
Dana.
out to get me.
Thank you so much, Dana.
Thank you.
Yacht has given us a $6.99 Canadian dollar super chat. Thank you so much, Dana. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Indeed, we do. And 3 out of 3 super chats, and they've all interrupted me.
Well done.
I wonder if that's because they're waiting or whether I just talk a lot. You just think about that a moment. So here we have it, and it says on the top here, of course, when Graham introduced it, he said the Yorkshire National Anthem. And on here it says, a Yorkshireman's advice to his son. That's what's written on the top there, and they've got this chap here talking to that lad there. And round the other side we've got the dog, and we've got the cat sitting by the open fire with a teapot on it, the old kettle. Got the kettle boiling. So very much Yorkshire. And you can see some of the words there as they're written. And I just checked to get it correct. And because this one should read, I believe, hear all, see all, say nout. Eat all, drink all, bane out, and if that ever does out for nout, do it for the sen. Which, interpreted, I am told, says, hear all, see all, say nothing, eat all, drink all, pay nothing, and if you ever do anything for nothing, do it for yourself. Which does tend to make it sound as if the advice that is passed on from generation to generation in Yorkshire is to be tight and mean. But in all honesty, every time we've gone there, we have found everyone we've met to be absolutely lovely.
Lovely, generous, kind. Never met a nasty Yorkshire person yet.
And I've actually commented to the staff where we stay that whilst the staff are generally very polite and very helpful everywhere we stay, never have we found people as overly helpful and friendly as the staff we meet there. But they are so proud of their saying, hear all, see all, say nout. And there's also a version that says, tak all, keep all, give nout. And if you ever does out for nout, do it for the sen. There we go, in a Welsh accent. But if you want to hear it proper, play the video again, and Graham will give you that. So
right, now talking about the dog bowl.
We're talking about the dog bowl.
Ed suggested duct tape. Thank you, Ed. That would be very unobtrusive.
Oh, I bit of Gorilla
No, sorry,
tape.
that was Rachel Bailey. Sorry, yeah, bit of duct tape. Nobody'll spot that. And Rachel Bailey and Random RJ Awesome said contact adhesive. And apparently Gorilla, according to Rachel, Gorilla do a good contact adhesive. Right, we'll have to see what we can do.
There we go.
Right, so back down to the bottom of my screen now. And time for...
We're going to go question or happy news?
Let's get the happy news out of the way.
Right, we'll give it to me. And you've done yours. You're stealing she's just stealing the show.
That's me.
I won't speak without a dingle. Young hero receives an award. In December 2023, a woman was spotted floating down the Boynton Beach Inlet, the most dangerous inlet of South Florida due to a rapid current, according to the Boynton Beach Fire and Rescue. Unconcerned for his own safety, 17-year-old Jacob Thompson took off his shirt and jumped into the canal, swimming 80 feet and securing the woman around his waist before powering back to the cement wall. Jacob said, "I just swam as fast as I can to get her. By the time I got to her, I don't want to say lifeless, but she was very tired from struggling and trying to get out of the water." Nearly 5 months later, and that's why this is in happy news today, nearly 5 months later, Jacob has been rewarded for his efforts, receiving the Carnegie Medal from the Carnegie Hero Fund, given to those throughout the US and Canada who risk death or serious physical injury in rescuing their fellow man. 17 others were honoured with the medal this year, which has a verse from the New Testament around its edge that reads, "Greater love hath no man than this, than he would lay down his life for his friends." So there we go. I thought that was lovely.
Pretty impressive feat, that.
Yeah, and I read that the 20% of the people who've received this award have received it posthumously because their acts of bravery have cost them their lives as they've attempted to rescue another person. Right. But I think it's lovely that there is an award out there, because in the entire article, because obviously we bring an edited version to share tonight, in the entire article the young man said, "I've received an award, but I didn't do it for any reward. I just knew I had to." And as well as receiving that medal, he has also received a scholarship as a result of the national coverage of the story. There's a scholarship that's available to people who don't have the means but have proven themselves through acts of bravery, and he has won a scholarship as well.
Right.
So although he just dived in there to save a lady, he is seeing so much coming back his way, which is lovely. It's lovely to know that these things are out there, and it's lovely to know, you know, we hear the news and sometimes the press can be bad for this group or that group of people, but amongst all people you will have those who perhaps don't live to their best, but there are also those who go well and beyond everyone's expectation, and young Jacob certainly did that for that lady and saved her life.
Right, we've got something from Tom. There's another few lines of that poem that he's learnt. "Don't stand if thee can sit, and don't sit if thee can lie." I like that. That would suit me down to the ground.
So now to mean and sort of unhelpful, we're adding lazy. The list goes on.
I don't think it's lazy. I think it's relaxed.
It's
therapeutic.
Indeed.
I could take a lolling around all day.
You could indeed. I'm sure you'd be very good at it.
I would.
Yeah. Loving your cosy fleece, Caroline. Red really suits you. That's from Meryl Reese.
Oh, thank you, Mara.
There we are. Compliments
It was
paid.
cold tonight. Mate, it's only been 9 degrees all day today. I'm sure that must be below the norm for like almost May. It's been really cold all day. And when I'm cold, don't like being cold. I should live in Spain where it's lovely and warm.
Indeed. Yeah. Caroline was convinced that she was mistakenly claimed by her mother when she was a child.
I know.
That you weren't meant to be in this cold climate at all.
Definitely must be with the wrong family, because I was destined to live in a hot climate.
Right then, shall we have a question?
Let's have a question.
Let's have a question.
Let's find my jingle.
One of the things that we were struck by when we were putting together this video, editing the footage, was the beauty of the surroundings. And in the video, Caroline comments on how wonderful the view up the river was. I commented on the smell of the garlic, and that prompted quite a chat yesterday. It doesn't take much to get out people talking about food. Nope. And someone commented they had just used wild garlic. I think it was with steak. And others were coming up with recipes and things. So this question is linked to one of the beautiful things we saw not produce of the dump, but produce of nature, and that's the forget-me-not. The name Forget-me-not comes from a legend about a knight who died trying to get the flowers for his lover. And he called out with his last breath, "Forget-me-not."
Oh.
Was that knight A, German, B, English, or C, French?
Right. Oh, go. Sorry.
Go.
Sorry. Go.
See?
Go.
She tried to steal my happy news and then she misses the cue to do her job.
No, I'm trying to find.
No.
Let's have a look.
Basically, where did the legend come from? Is this legend a German legend? That would be A. Or is it an English legend? That would be B. Or is it a French legend that gave the name to Forget-me-nots? So really, you need to know where were they profuse at the time they got their name. What do you think?
Right.
Or you can just take a random guess and who knows, you could strike lucky.
I'm trying to get my thingy not to jump. It's really silly. Linda Hardy said it's 80 degrees F in Daytona Beach, here in Daytona Beach. So, okay then, I'm going to jump on a plane and fly over to Daytona Beach. Sounds perfect. And where else has he gone? Beata said, I can see a bear postcard. Yes, look at this. Manky and Panky received a postcard. And I want to show you the back, which Phyllis went on a holiday and she sent them a postcard because they were really worried that she might get eaten by bears, brown bears. And so Phyllis sent them a picture of this cute little bear to prove that they weren't really very scary because Panky was getting herself in a right state. She was so frightened that Phyllis was going to be eaten. So there we go, that is the bear's postcard. And now they're trying to argue which one is going to get it by their bunk bed. They got two postcards, so one is going to go by the one bunk bed, the top bunk, and one on the bottom bunk. And they're trying to decide who gets the really cute one. So we let them argue amongst themselves. It's going to be a noisy evening.
Right. Here we go. The answer. Now.
Oh, Glenda said about 2 degrees C here in Colorado. Oh, that's colder than you then. Ooh.
Okay. The correct answer has been given by, yet again, the first answer.
Did I say my guess was what my guess was?
No.
No, I didn't. France, I guessed.
You're wrong. Because if you've taken a quick look, you would have seen the first answer in is from our friend in Germany who said Germany.
Oh, well, the inside information there.
And it was Germany. The love of the Forget-me-nots took off in the UK around about the 1800s. That's when they started to become popular here, but they were already popular across Europe. And the legend of the name comes from Germany. It's a German legend, so therefore the knight would have been German, which means Beata Heinz has got the very first podium of gold.
Beata.
Hey, Rachel Bailey's got a silver.
Oh, well done, Rachel.
And then I've got to go down a long way.
Who is it?
To find another A.
Is there another A there?
There is. There are
lost
two.
it, I mean, you've lost
No,
your
there
A.
are two. And the next one down, just making sure I didn't miss anyone on the way because it's so far. Rita Marburg.
Well done, Rita.
So, first, second and third, Beata, Rachel and Rita, but we've... let's have a look. I know there's another one. I've seen it.
All right.
Somewhere down there is another.
We've
got Anne Goodwin and The Silent Forgotten.
Oh, well done,
also
Anne
got
and the
A's.
Silent
Worthy of mention because there's only 5
Yes.
correct answers in the whole thing.
Well done.
And I do understand why a lot of people went British because, of course, a lot of people associate Knights of the Round Table, Arthur, etc. But they have legends of knights all across Europe. And it was a German knight who is said to have died in the search for Forget-me-nots. He should have come to our garden, as Caroline said. You never forget him because you can't get rid of him.
That's right.
Right then. More finds.
More finds.
Here you go, folks. Just to check, anyone got any ideas? There we go. This is the one we found. There we go. We're clear.
I reckon it's gourmet. Which way? That way? What do you reckon?
As I say, it's... Looking at the cylinder, it would be probably similar size to the medium-sized jars we pick up. But it's the Go... And it does look like an M, so it could be the Gourmet. And that on the end there is Eater. So... E-A-T-E-R.
So it's
So you got
stamped on that
Gorm
one.
and Eater, but I just wondered maybe somebody would recognise it because it's something you've picked up and seen the whole thing of. But
Ed said a mustard jar, possibly. Yeah, could be 'cause it's not
2,
huge. It's
the
quite
Gorm.
compact.
But we will find out sooner or
Yes,
later.
somebody may have seen one.
Somebody will know. And I brought this other little piece along. And the reason I brought this is just to encourage people. Numerous times we've said it, and rarely has it proven helpful to us, that if you're finding bits like this, there's got to be something happening further upstream. But of course, it depends whether you can find what's happening further upstream. This is how we found our finds on the Sarawi. When we first went up to Tredegar, wasn't it? We kept finding bits and finding bits. And as we went up, the bits got bigger, and eventually we found quite substantial finds, including that amazing botanical brewer's flagon from Bryn Mawr, which I found all the bits for and put together. And yet again, this time it paid off, because as you saw in this video, we found these bits. But then when we decided we'd exhausted the area and decided to walk up the river, and we ventured further along and went on our journey, as we went, Caroline saw a jam jar. And that was what started the ball rolling, because we went to the jam jar and then we started to find china. Then we started to climb. So now we had gone way up the river, but then had begun to climb away from the river. And it was way up on the top that we found the items that we were showing you. And that's just to encourage people. If you're finding bits and pieces, you never know what may be further along.
Or
if you
could wash down in a storm.
Yeah, some stuff could come down later on.
Newsflash. Where's our find? Tom Burley has been looking on the internet, and he just found a picture. It's the Gourmet Egg Beater.
Oh,
so it must have been something they put the egg in, was it? And then you beat it, or some sort of whiskey thing that went in it. Not whiskey thing.
The Gourmet Egg Beater, that would fit.
It's a number 2, which would probably figure the size. So that'd be how many eggs would fit
probably
in there.
2 in it.
Just a guess.
Well.
Thanks, Tom. That's brilliant.
I thought it was just a peculiar label to have on just a product that you sell, because it didn't seem to have any, because usually below the insignia you'll have writing and stuff, you know. But that makes sense. Thank you very much.
Oh, Lexi's in as well, saying this, she's just done a Google image search. Oh, thank you very much. That's very useful information, and now we know. I want to find a whole one now. So I can
Before our next question, I'm going to show find.
Go on then.
Now, as I said, when I came down the hill and Caroline said, "Oh, you've got a ridge pottery pot." This is no simple ridge pottery pot. This is, by the very fact it doesn't have a single airline crack, it is a survivor. A true survivor, to sit in the ground for 100 years and not even have a chip or a crack on it. That's a rarity. But of course, it's also an original, because it says not genuine unless bearing. And there we have Mr. Hartley's
got a big white head.
signature. William P. Hartley's label, FMF. There we go. So, if you give me a question jingle.
A question jingle coming up. That knight's got some cool groovy moves.
Sir William Pickles Hartley. See, I should have asked what's the P for in William Hartley's name, shouldn't I?
That'd been good.
Sir William Pickles Hartley founded his jam empire in 1871 when his supplier failed to deliver jam to his shop. In which county was Mr. Hartley's shop? Now, obviously it was up north, but do you think it was in A, Derbyshire, B, Yorkshire, or C, Lancashire?
Go. Right. I've made my decision. I got it right.
Hey!
First time tonight, I've got it right.
Caroline got a question right. Yep.
Right. While the answers are coming in then, I'll show you my find because time is getting on. And it was this piece of metal. Now, it's been folded. That shouldn't be there. But you can see there are lines down there. But I have no idea. It's too short, really, for a door plate. You know, a finger plate. Sometimes they put those and you can see my little hand. I got very small hands. And I would already be hanging off the end of it. Phyllis, put your hand on there. No, put that there. You can see Phil's hand would definitely make finger marks on a door. So I think it's wider than a normal door plate. And
seems to have holes in it.
yeah, I think the holes are just damage. I don't think these are anything important. Can you see the holes?
Certainly look like
So
copper
I don't know.
or something.
You know, this is obviously been made to be like that. I'm not sure about the curly bits. Do seem to be, because see how curly each corner is. It's almost like a scroll. I tell you what, it's just a thought now. Do you think it could be off something like a gravestone, and all this was like this, and then they had something fitted on there? I don't know, or I don't know. Plus, there was a wall plaque, and there was something on it. But with those curly bits on there, it does make you think possibly there was for some reason. No idea. And I think there's a bit of copper in it because you can see these little bits there of verdigris going on.
Right then. Well. This is interesting.
Is
This
it?
is interesting. Yes, it is interesting. I'll tell you why in a minute. Because, in fact, I think Lexi's going to be kicking herself now. Because at the end of the list of answers, Lexi put up a message saying, "Me great granny is listed as a jam boiler on her death certificate. She was from Lancashire." Yet, Lexi was the very first answer in and said Yorkshire. And the correct answer is, your granny was right. It's Lancashire. She probably worked for William Hartley's because Lancashire is where he set up his firm, and that's where he had his shop. So, let's have a look. We're looking for Lancashire, which is C, which gives our first place. Oh, Rachel, you're doing well tonight. Rachel Bailey's got a
well
gold.
done, Rachel.
Well done. Then we've got Tom Burley,
Well done,
who
Tom.
has said Lancashire in full. And then Ian Davis
Well done, Ian.
has given us a C. So there we go. It's Rachel, Tom and Ian.
Congratulations.
Got the 3 podium places. But I couldn't believe it when I read that off Lexi saying, oh, my great granny was a jam boy in Lancashire. I thought, well, why did you write Yorkshire, Lexi?
Right.
Should have gone with granny.
Beata said, is it from a book? Where's it got my little metal thing? I don't know. It could be off the front of a book. I don't know. I'm a bit doubtful of that, but it could be. Random said the thing off a shed roof. I would explain the fold. I don't know whether that fold isn't supposed to be there, but it could be. And Phyllis said it does look like a temporary grave marker. Lexi said metal book cover. Ed said ridge tile for a roof. Right, so that's the suggestion. So I have no idea what it is. Then we got some really interesting suggestions there. So well done everybody who sent in a suggestion, because none of us know who's right. But it's always interesting to see what other people think it could be as well.
Right then. Well, our time is gone.
It's time for that question, isn't it?
So it's time for that question. And let's just hope to goodness that I've got it right. Because, Maggie, you are leading me a merry dance. Okay, folks, here we go. How many times did Mankey appear in this week's video? Was it A4, B5, or C6?
Go! Right, so while you're coming up with your answers, Karen said it reminds me of, sorry, it's all jumping about now because all the answers are coming in. Right, No, I don't think I'm going to be able to get back to it. Reminds me of the inner lid of a tin box. I have large Coleman's tins with an inner lid that looks like that. Right, thank you. That's interesting. There we go, and we got Ribbles in with his time in, and he is really the definitive answer on our Mankey sightings because he's really good at spotting Mankey. Is he right? I was trying to find the answer then. Right. What do you reckon, Phil?
Right then. Here we go. The answer, which I'm going with because I did say on this occasion how many times did Mankey appear. Not how many places. But how many times?
Oh, so you've changed the rules.
Mankey...
You said, no.
I said how many times. The question was clear. And the reason that I said that was because he does appear 5 separate times.
Right, same place but on a
he
different box.
appears in 4 particular places.
Right.
And that means that the correct answer goes to... Lexi.
Oh, well done, Lexi.
Second comes Ian Davis.
Well done, Ian.
And third, been in the run-in virtually every time tonight, I think, Rachel Bailey.
Well done, Rachel.
And if I can just explain, in the intro, which was about 020, during the music, he was up the tree in the music, which... 02, sorry, for the first one, 020 for the second one. Behind me as I walked to Caroline. Before the plain or patterned. So we're talking 1 minute before we played plain or patterned.
Oh, sneaky,
Caroline
sneaky.
called me over and I walked across. And way in the background, there's Mankey stood on the tree waiting for us to come over and play plain or pattern with him. So he was there in the background on that shot, and that was the one that caught Steve out.
One little rescue panda could cause so many arguments, would you?
Then, of course, he was in the plain or patterned, and he was at the end. So that's why I said how many times did he appear, because it was a completely different shot. It was when I was walking over, Mankey was setting up the plain or pattern, so he was on the tree setting it up, and you'll see him way in the distance. So there we go, folks. We've overrun again.
We have. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining us. Important announcement.
Yes, very important.
This doesn't interest me at all. I'm not at all excited. But we're going to France for a holiday on Thursday.
Beata, you can look after the UK for us when we're gone. Beata saying, I'll be in the UK.
Yeah.
It's Saturday. Well, we'll be in France by then. So we're heading off to France. So we won't be here. There'll be no video or live show for 2 weeks.
No.
So it'll be 3 weeks, 2 weeks next Friday that we'll put out a video.
Yep.
And 3 weeks tonight that we'll be back for a live show.
And I'm not at all excited. Did I mention I'm not at all excited?
We'll be doing the brocantes, and we'll be
wait.
filming while we're out there so that we can share some of the brocantes with you.
Lots of French food.
And we're going to have a holiday. So thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you.
And we look forward to being with you again when we return.
Yes.
But until then,
have fun.
bye.